My name is Jane, or Evgenia Sorokin. I'm an OBGYN at Monroe Clinic. I grew up with my parents both being physicians. I think it was always on my short list, even as a kid. I think at 8th grade graduation, I said that I was going to be, because we all had to make some sort of list. Mine was, I said I was going to be either a psychologist, a doctor, or a fashion designer. I even considered maybe designing like a maternity line, so maybe I'll still get around to doing something like that. I originally came to Monroe because I was following my husband, because he got a fellowship in Madison, Wisconsin, so I was trying to find a place that was within the vicinity. And our plan was to stay for a year and then move back to Chicago, which is where both our families are from. But I found in the course of the few months that I've been here that I really like my job and I really like working here, and so it just so happened that a position opened up for him, and we made the decision to stay. And he's excited about starting, and I'm excited about staying. So, I mean, I think it's still sort of amazing that, you know, a few months back, a couple cells come together, and then, you know, you walk into a room, there's two people, and within some short amount of time, you know, in a few months of incubation, this entire living human thing is produced. So, you know, and that day's that day's probably the most important day in those two people's lives. So to be a part of that is sort of, I think, is a privilege. I guess people might not know that I consider myself an artist at heart. And I also think that even though medicine, obviously heavily based in science, I think there is a huge component of art in it. Part of the reason that I went into OB is that it is a surgical field. I think it gives me an opportunity to work with my hands. Most of my free time I spend with my family and friends. That's probably #1 priority outside of work. And then besides that, I like to travel, I like to read books. I'm starting to get into cooking, which is another thing that I never thought I would do or could do. I think one of my first attempts years and years ago, I tried to make muffins and I substituted baking powder for baking soda, thinking it was close enough. And so, you know, from then on for a long time, I just assumed I couldn't cook, but I've started getting into it now. It's actually been kind of fun. We have a blue-tick coonhound, we think. We picked him up. He was at 3 months old, but at a shelter, he was just called a hound mix. And we didn't learn about blue-tick coonhounds until after we brought him home, because I thought he was cute, and he's more, you know, he has more energy than both of us combined. So it's been fun, but it's definitely good practice, I think, for patience and yeah, pre-baby puppy. So.